Joining me is my other colleague, Gulam Jeelani, who has a book, like Kartikeya was saying, that he had accessed the book. Gulam, if you can show us a copy of that book, it has a lovely cover. There you have it. Tell me something, Gulam. Is it, every expert says that Ghulam Nabi Azad is respected for who he was as long as he was in the Congress party. Do you think after this memoir, after this autobiography, you think that his goodwill is going to increase? In a place where he's a native of, that is Jammu and Kashmir, what is it going to do to his political career, as it were?
See, thank you for having me. This book comes at a very crucial stage. It comes at a time when Karnataka is going to elections. It comes at a stage when mainstream politicians in Jammu and Kashmir are demanding elections. Jammu and Kashmir has been without an elected assembly since 2018. So, coming to your question about what will it do to to his followership, to his support in Jammu and Kashmir, it's very interesting. When Ghulam Nabi Azad left the Congress party, there was a buzz that he would join BJP, which he did not. In fact, in one of the pages of the book, he mentions that when Prime Minister Modi, gave that emotional speech, farewell speech in 2021, when Ghulam Nabi Azad's term as Rajya Sabha member ended. So he has called out people for calling him a BJP man, but he's explaining that it was not his intention to go into the BJP.
Yeah, that's what, Gulam, I'm sorry to interrupt, but I wanted you to tell the viewers as to what are the salient things that you notice which have come out of this book. Of course, they can go buy the book, but why not we be the first ones to tell them?
Yeah. So there are basically, this book is, I would say this book is divided into two parts. As Kartikeya sir was mentioning, this book talks about his relationship with all the Gandhi family members, right from Indira Gandhi, Rajiv Gandhi, Sanjay Gandhi, then Sonia Gandhi, then to Rahul Gandhi. So if you look at the part until Sonia Gandhi, he has been all praises for Sonia Gandhi. He even refers Sonia Gandhi as Sonia Ji in the book, right? But when it comes to Rahul Gandhi, starting from the Rahul Gandhi's anointment, he's calling out mistakes that Rahul Gandhi did. For example, there is this episode in 2014 when former Congress leader, who is now Assam Chief Minister Himanta Biswa Sharma, left the Congress party and joined the BJP. So Ghulam Nabi Azad has clearly mentioned that he had come to Rahul Gandhi, he had explained to Rahul Gandhi how important Mr. Biswa Sharma is, how he has got the support of the MLAs, and how it will be detrimental for the party, at least in the northeast, to let him go. But despite all this feedback that Mr. Azad had given Rahul Gandhi let Himant Biswa Sharma go. So that is one mistake that Rahul Gandhi did, which is mentioned in the book. Another point in the same episode is that Sonia Gandhi was the president of the party at that time. So Mr. Azad believes that Sonia Gandhi could have easily asserted herself and asked Rahul Gandhi to stop Himanta Biswa Sharma. You know what happened in Northeast then, that rest is history. Again, towards the end of the book, he talks about the psychophancy culture in the Congress party. Again, it is something very new. It is not something very new. Everybody knows about, how leaders have risen through the ranks in the party.
Gulam, I have a question for you.
Yeah.
Does this book, because Ghulam Nabi Azad also happened to be, at a very crucial moment, the General Secretary of United Andhra Pradesh, at any point of time did he refer to that momentous event when the state of Andhra Pradesh was divided and Congress party committed a political harakiri in South, because it was because of Andhra Pradesh that Sonia could form government in 2004 when YSR Reddy swept Legislative Assembly and Lok Sabha elections. Are there any reference to that context? What prompted Sonia to take such a decision, asking Chidambaram to call a press conference at 10 o'clock at night at North Block and announce that they are going to divide state of Andhra? Because the reason why I'm asking you is that I was coming back from Raebareli and my flight landed at 7:40 and I was called by my office to rush to North Block, and thereby the press conference started at 10:15, and I was shocked that, in such a, if I may use the word cavalier, but in such a manner they would decide to announce formation of two states.
Okay.
Gulam.
Yeah, so there's a section in the book which talks about Congress's debacles in states. How Congress has been marginalized slowly, is getting marginalized slowly in states. It talks about UP and Bihar. It talks about Assam, as I mentioned. So it has a section on Andhra and Karnataka. So as we know, Gulam Nabi Azad has been has been in charge of almost all the states across the country. So he gives himself a benefit of doubt, where he says after he left the Karnataka, then things went bad in Karnataka, where everybody wants to be the chief minister. We have Karnataka elections coming up, and in Andhra, he also mentioned, as Kartikeya was point, is mentioning the division of Andhra Pradesh into Telangana and Andhra, where he said some of the MPs who wanted it to be divided, later they came to know that these MPs had no support in Andhra. So he is mentioning these things, but there are things where he is not, he's not being self-critical. He's not talking about, he's not being critical of Sonia Gandhi as per, except for that episode of Himanta Biswa Sharma where he says she should have asserted herself. I think he, in Karnataka, in Andhra, Congress gave him so much. He calls other leaders that they are climbing the ladder, and he also alleges that people like Salman Khurshid have used him as a ladder to rise to the top position in the party. But again, if we look at his career of 5 decades, he has been given almost all the position in the party. He has been the minister in the government. He also talks about, at a stage, he talks about how the Congress party started, declining the moment they were, in the government. They didn't focus on the party function. So he's talking about these aspects, but again, he's not mentioning things which in which he was also part.